Hello everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast is part of the Bulletin beat. This audio podcast is part of a squadron, the Squadron Bloca. This audio podcast as part of Electronics POCE. This audio podcast as part of a Storm Robotics production and interlude. In this audio podcast. In this audio podcast, there will be an overview in around assistive technology, as thus. There are a range of initiatives. To highlight discrimination and ignorance through information leaflets, online peer support, one-to-one counselling, and group educational initiatives. Initiatives can be categorized along a continuum with passive information provision about people's conditions and technical skills at one end with technology that aids to support behaviour change at the other. And so the question is also how about assistive technology to preclude or raise discrimination and ignorance awareness? A formal definition of assistive technology, at least in the UK, in UK healthcare, comes from or has been put forward by the organisation known as the King's Fund in 2001 through a workshop as thus: any product or service designed to enable independence for disabled and older people. And so, at the same time, the passage for Individuals with Disabilities Act, the Disabilities Act, or the Tech Act of 1988. 1988 had contributed to the increased attention on the role of assistive technology and the role of assistive technology the role of assistive technology and how it can improve the functional needs of individuals with disabilities. Its passage and its basis and an establishment of technology-related projects greatly contributed to an increased public awareness in the use of assistive technology by people with disabilities to improve lives. When the Tech Act was amended in 1944, when the Tech Act was amended in 1994, it reflected a further redirection in policy away from previous medical isolationist philosophies to philosophies focusing on assistive technology for individuals with disabilities in context of school, work, and community settings. Assistive technology should be acknowledged and understood by employers of individuals with disabilities, allowing healthier work environments, and more awareness is needed. That draws this audio podcast interlude to a close. This being an audio podcast as part of the Bulletin beat. This audio podcast is part of the Squadron Bloca. This audio podcast is part of Electronics POCE, and this audio podcast is part of a Storm Robotics production.